"There's a body buried in the orchard. I'll take you to it." That's what 19-year-old Landon Kirk told officers after walking into a rural sheriff's office, covered in dirt, shaking, and claiming he was ready to confess. You're watching 365 Days of Darkness, where each day uncovers a true crime story more disturbing than the last. If you haven't already, hit subscribe, because what you're about to hear will make you question what the word confession even means. Now, let's talk about the body in the orchard. Landon Kirk had no record, no history of violence, just a quiet kid from a farming town in northern Idaho, working odd jobs and mostly keeping to himself. So when he stumbled into the sheriff's office one humid morning, muttering about a buried body, no one knew what to think. He said he'd been haunted by what he did, that the nightmares wouldn't stop unless he told the truth. So they let him speak, and what he described was graphic, precise, and impossible to ignore. He led deputies to an orchard 15 miles outside of town, past rusted fences and overgrown brush. And there, beneath a patch of disturbed soil, they found human remains wrapped in a tarp. Only one problem. It wasn't who Landon said it would be. Landon insisted the body belonged to Troy Mercer, a man he claimed had been blackmailing and threatening him for months. But dental records told a different story. The remains were of Ava Trenton, a 23-year-old nursing student who vanished 3 years earlier and had zero connection to Landon, at least officially. When pressed, Landon looked confused. He swore he'd never heard of Ava. He didn't recognize her photo. He was convinced it was Troy under that tarp. But when detectives asked him to describe Troy, he couldn't. So, was Landon lying? Or was he a pawn in something bigger? The investigation only got weirder. On Ava's remains, they found traces of a sedative, one not available outside of clinical research. And Landon? He had an alibi for the time she disappeared. He was out of the country. Still, no one else came forward. And no new suspects were named. Landon was charged, but his confession didn't match the victim. His defense team argued he was coerced, possibly manipulated. But by who? And why bury a body Landon shouldn't have known existed? The case remains open to this day, with many believing Landon wasn't the killer, just the messenger. So who really buried Ava Trenton in that orchard? And how did Landon know she was there, if he wasn't the one who put her there? This is 365 Days of Darkness.